For those of you who do not know me, I'm Stacy Salyer, aka the Slayer, property management strategist. Today I have on my show Alex and Lacy with ClearLead Digital. You guys come from property management, decided to start a new business, and I heard all about it and I had to have you on because I wanted to learn more. There is a chat. I would love for people to use the chat, ask questions, make comments. You can tell us where you're coming from today, and we'll go from there. Let's dive in. You guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit more about your business, why you started?
Sure. I'm Lacy Hendricks. I'm in San Antonio. I've been in property management since 2014. Alex and I met through the Governmental Affairs Committee, and we learned quickly that we were on the same journey learning about SEO and digital marketing. I had always managed my own website, but I knew that I needed it to perform better. Like I knew we were missing an opportunity there. So I dove in head first, enrolled in a class. I've been in it almost 2.5 years now. I come from a tech background, so it was a natural progression for me. I'll let Alex tell his story.
Well, we were on two separate journeys, let's say that. I definitely was going through the school of hard knocks in SEO. I was learning through trial and error, but we ended up in the same place. So that's all that matters. So this has been a really great journey altogether. Coming from the property management world and really loving property management, always want to be in the property management sphere, but it's just creating that new space where you're finding passion again. We get beat up all the time in property management. I think it's a great space for us to show that creativity.
I love it. I'm super excited. You guys just launched your business and you've had probably a lot of people already hitting you up for services. Tell us why SEO. I think all of us know what SEO is, but I'm not super techie. I'm techie enough to keep myself out of trouble. True Gen X. Tell me more about why it's so important.
It's so important because with the power of SEO is you taking the power back in your website and making it really, truly work for you. How it kind of started for my journey with it was because I've had some come out from outside of the industry look at our website and see what was wrong. We have so much trust in all our vendors, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it was finding out that there was stuff that could be done better. And once that stuff could be done better, I started making those changes and started seeing the differences in the business. What that showed me was that there's an algorithm you can follow to help grow your business. SEO is basically just doing what Google says. It's really just allowing yourself to follow the structures that Google sets so that you're able to have your website rank, whether it be title tags, meta descriptions, alt text, all these different things that Google wants to make sure that your website is readable, make sure that it's accessible, the information that's on there. It's really cool when you're able to harness that power. I think the data is the fun part of watching the data change.
Is it fair to say Google is in charge? Everything we're doing is for Google.
I think there might be a lawsuit going on about that right now.
I put in my LinkedIn post, we might spill some NARPM tea, but maybe it's going to be Google tea instead. So it's all about Google. You started using a bunch of words that people may not even know, like meta tags. Can you kind of dumb it down for those of us that are just techie enough to stay out of trouble? Like what, because most of us look at websites, right? And we're like, oh, it's really pretty. But what are you doing behind the scenes to make it pretty actually be relevant?
So Google likes to see very concise information because every time it crawls a website, that costs money. What we're doing on the back end is taking your website and putting it into Google best practices. If you do it for Google, it works for Bing. It works for all the search engines because they all have the same requirements. If you're optimizing it for Google, it's going to work on the other search engines as well. You want to put in these best practices that makes it as easy as possible, web crawler, to interpret the data that's on your website and put it into their language so that it can process your information as quickly as possible and understand what your site is talking about. That way, it can connect the people that are putting in those search queries to your website. That's how it will serve your website if it knows that what they're looking for is on your website. And you want to make it as streamlined and as easy as possible for that web crawler. It's good, it's clean, it's solid. Let's go. That's really what it gets down to. But also there's a component of client journey. So you have clients that are just now shopping. You have clients that are ready to pull the trigger. So you need to have different flows through your websites for those different types of shoppers. You might have something like a contact me or a calculator that calculates return on investment for somebody who's maybe looking to buy their first investment property. That would be a really top of the level funnel tool. But then at the bottom of the funnel, you've got like book a consultation. That person is ready to talk to you. They want to engage. They want to have your undivided attention because they're booking a time on your calendar. So, you want to have different client journeys on there as well. And that's all part of SEO. And Google does take that into account as well.
Okay. So when you guys are looking at people's websites, are you finding that most property management businesses are like, do they have a funnel? Do they have a client journey? Do they have like book with me with a calendar link?
I think they have a client journey. It's a bumpy ride, most of them, just because you're having free rental analysis. That's great for someone at that stage, but you need to have different ones, like Lacy said, to make sure that wherever part of the journey they can find somewhere. If they want to, your blog is a part of that journey, is the sense of education and making sure you're providing that information. They think that you're just going to go to the city page and click the contact us button. It's not like that. They need to earn your trust first. Google wants to earn your trust first, then the client will earn your trust. Because if Google trusts you, that makes the client think you're a trusted source as well. And so making sure you're having those things in place that wherever they are, you kind of meet them.
Okay. If you were starting a property management company today, like how would you set up the perfect website? What would you do? Maybe just on the client journey part. Like what are some basics?
You want to have your homepage. Homepage is one of your biggest money pages, and that's where you're driving a lot of traffic through. Depending on how many markets you're in, that's very important too. For us, we're in 6 counties. We have a very wide range of markets, so we have a lot of different landing service city pages. Making sure that if you are in a bigger market, you are encompassing that whole market. Whatever small city that they're focusing on, it locks out a lot of the other people. I'm not in Orlando. I'm in Jacksonville. That's a bad example, but they just kind of show you the difference in space and really, truly making sure they're providing information more higher level on that page so that wherever they're coming, they're able to see you there. But then, like I said, having the specific service pages for the cities, make sure you have your informational pages about your actual services, your about you page, your contact us page. One of the things that goes wrong is your website should be built going forward. So the links should all just go this way, essentially. You have your homepage, main pages, and sub pages below that. A lot of property management websites go wide. What's happening is they're getting stopped and then they're like, where do I go next in this journey? You're at that page, but there's nowhere to go from that page other than your navigation bar. Making sure you have that full journey in the website and the way you build. It really matters the way you build your link structure. It's so important because the longer that someone stays on your website, the higher your engagement rate is, and then higher you're going to rank in Google. The longer they stay on your website, that's a great thing for you, and that's gonna help your domain authority. The thing is so many things that play into it. Once you get the strategy behind it, the basics, that's when you see some success.
But at the same time, you probably don't want the client to feel frustrated either, right? When they get on the homepage, they should know exactly where to go. When I had my PMC, it landed on my homepage. It didn't really speak to the client. I had the free rental analysis. If I knew what I know now, I would totally do it different.
If you'd have hired us, you would have sold property for so much more.
I know. So when I start my next property management business, you guys are first on my list. Do you recommend more speaking to the client of like almost like a little box of like go here, 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 depending on like where you are in the journey? Because some people are just like, oh, I'm thinking maybe I want to rent my home, or maybe I do want to rent my home and I know where to go. How does that work?
So that really speaks to intent. There's intent behind every search or query you enter into Google or your AI LLM of choice. So there's 4 different categories of intent: informational, navigational, commercial, and transactional. When you put in your query, Google says, okay, this is the intent of their query. They're going to pull information that's relevant to the intent of your search or query. So that's how you guide the user through your website. And that's why you want to have multiple journeys. You want to make them feel like they're discovering it, like they're going on this journey. So delivering the right keywords for that client's journey, you build it structurally and with intent so that they navigate through your website and get deeper into the topic. You have to know how Google views the intent of the search terms and use those keywords strategically throughout the site to guide the user.
Yeah, so we had some questions pop up. Jonathan, what buttons do you think are the most important links to have on a homepage? And if his intent is growth through new organic clients, what do you think are the most important buttons or pieces of content that I can add to my homepage?
One of the biggest things that I see that people don't do, you should have a way to contact you on every page. There should be a form, a button that takes you to that form or whatever. We've been looking at a lot of websites lately, and there's two things that I've seen that have been really wrong. It's hard to contact them, and it's hard to know what market they're in. People fill out their form on our website and they ask for their strategy call. The first thing I do is look at their website. What market are they in? I can't find it. 2 pages later, I find it. You should really have that out there to make sure you're being transparent about where you are, what you are, and how to get a hold of you. I think that content on your homepage is definitely going to be some educational stuff on your philosophy of property management. I think is very important, how you handle it. But also, I think you should definitely have stuff about you as a company and making sure that you're putting your story out there, because you are being trust. Like I said, we're all trust is a family-run business. Have a picture of everyone on there, making sure you're telling your story to get in there, so you are earning that trust little by little. As they go through that journey, by the time they get ready to fill out that form, they're like, oh, people look trustworthy. They don't think they're going to harm my property, or they're going to find me great tenants.
Look, there's Stacy on the beach in Belize. She looks like she's fun.
Right? But doesn't that work for your website though? Like
Oh,
you
100%.
told your story. You told your story because it gets to your truth who you are.
Yeah, 100%. Telling your story and really explaining, like kind of doing that. And I think I even have a family photo, like me and my kids way down there on the website. But yeah, for sure.
An opportunity that a lot of people miss is, I know that we don't work in newspaper anymore, but you still should know what above the fold means.
Yeah.
Above the fold means before you have to hit the scroll button even once. And so right there, very clear as day, at the above the fold on your homepage, you want a contact us button. I recommend putting one in the header too, so that regardless of what page they're on, it's always in that top corner for them to contact you. Another great way to drive user time on your website and experience is building tools and embedding them on your website. You can do quizzes and dot forms and just embed the quiz on your website. Like, are you ready for a property manager? I have a set of questions that filters out, and each one is weighted. The answer pushes them to whether or not they need a property manager or if they could self-manage. Return on investment tools are super simple to build. Replit and Lovable are very easy. If you're familiar with AI, all you have to do is enter a prompt and it builds it out for you. You can embed it on your website, stuck to a specific provider for your tools. You can build them yourself and embed them on your website. The quizzes are great because it engages the client or engages the user, and Google sees them staying on your site longer. So it helps build that authority too. You can build the tools at Lovable.
Put it in the chat, the names.
Yeah.
When people are on your website doing that, like they're doing the quiz or ROI, are you also capturing their name and email?
Yes, that is the ticket. Before you give them the answer, you say, enter your name and email, because then they'll just leave your website and you're like, oh, I built that for nothing. But if you gatekeep the answer behind a contact form, which you can build into the Lovable tools or Jot forms, it will display the answer afterwards. If you need help with any of this, you can just go to ChatGPT and say, tell me how to make this. Lovable and Replit have native conversational AI, and you'll want to build that within there. I learned how to use Jot forms from ChatGPT.
We use Jot forms when we do our Monday implementations. We build out Jot forms for our clients. It's super easy, and put them on the website. And I think that's key. A lot of people in property management don't necessarily understand the marketing aspect. I was one of those. If I was building today, I would do it completely different. Really approach it with way more of a marketing, like speaking to your ideal client, and then using lead magnets.
Exactly.
I think a lot of times people hear the word lead magnet and either don't know what it is, at least in property management, or they just think it's like a PDF. I created a custom GPT, like a property management concierge.
I have it.
And it's fun, but that was like a lead magnet for me. So I'm capturing names and emails.
Another great question from Jonathan. How does Google interpret interactive tools like quizzes or calculators from an SEO standpoint? So and usually I just do the embed via a simple iframe, and it's just reading another website through your website. There's no positive or negative impact from that. if you enter it through JavaScript, it cannot read what's in there. So it probably just sees it as a blank block, even if it's pulling through an iframe. Because it's hosted on another website, it's not going to slow your website down because it's being entered from another place. It doesn't slow the page down at all. The thing to know about JavaScript is that LLM crawlers and Google cannot read JavaScript. So if you've got an accordion like menu where it's an FAQ and you click the first button and it shows you the answer, and click the next question and it shows you the answer, you need to make sure those aren't made with JavaScript. You can do that without JavaScript, but if it's in JavaScript and you're trying to use the FAQ to build authority and expertise, it's not going to be able to read that. So if you want to use that, you need to put the FAQ schema on the back end too, because then it'll know that information's there.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Jonathan is right. So the engagement, Jonathan, that absolutely staying on the page, the longer they stay on the page, that is a great benefit to SEO. So whether it might not be getting you the SEO from the actual tool itself, the time they're using on that tool, it does help you.
I was thinking a negative impact from using.
So going back to when you guys started to nerd out on SEO and dive into your business websites, what was the impact that you saw? Because I know people love data. Like, were you 2 leads a month and then you went to 200 or what?
So when I started implementing the SEO practices I was learning through the course in my class, we did not have a CRM set up.
Really?
We were simultaneously building out, onboarding and building out Lead Simple. Now that we have Lead Simple built out and connected to our website, we know exactly how many leads come in per month. It has grown over time since I've been able to track it and tailor the information so that the people that would be an automatic no for us don't fill out the form. Because you don't want your BDM spending all day on the phone with people that aren't qualified. Put some stoppers in to make sure they are qualified to work with you. The other part of it is we always get people reaching out to us to change our phone system or boost our website performance. Contractors will come in and put their information into it. We have a whole page for contractors to sign up and provide their W-9 and insurance right there. But for some reason, they choose the owner contact form. It doesn't make any sense. I guess it's probably because they're rushing or paying somebody to do a bad job.
No, they're just doing whatever. They know what they're doing. They 100% know what they're doing. They know that it's going to hit something else. And so they're trying to hit you that way. But you know where it goes? Trash.
Exactly.
Unless you need a plumber or something.
Yeah.
Because I have that form, I have a database of over 400 contractors and it's been posted for 2 years.
Right. So you saw a big impact when you started doing that and synced it with your CRM. What about you, Alex?
You can see the case study of a lead gen management group on our website. One thing you touched on earlier was the ideal client. And we were able to really focus on the clientele we wanted. We saw a big change. We saw higher rents. We saw just everything. When we figured out our ideal client, we wanted the absentee owners, those owners that weren't going to be involved every day. We were able to structure our content for that. We saw a significant increase in leads, which was awesome. And just the quality of lead alone itself, the number of leads didn't matter at that point. It was just we were getting the client we wanted.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. So kind of going back to that, are you guys mostly just focusing on the back end? Like, we're going to do an analysis on your website and all the meta tags. Do you guys also work with people on backing up even a little bit further? Like, let's talk about your ideal client.
We have to, because property managers come to us and they don't know. It's like, you know what type of property you manage, what your portfolio looks like. So why don't you make the content specific for those types of people? Mm-hmm. So we have to go through the exercise of what are the hobbies of the people that own these types of properties, so that you can get into the headspace of those clients, users, prospects, whatever you want to call them, so that you can create content that resonates with them. When you go into ChatGPT or Perplexity or your LLM of choice, you want to prompt it, telling it that this is the specific audience that you're writing for, so that it will know. The more detailed you can be with it, the better content it's going to give you. that is relevant to that audience.
Yeah, jumping into this particular business, I've taken a deep dive into marketing when I had my PMC. If I knew then what I know now, it'd be totally different. I focus on the identity style marketing, like really speaking to my ideal client.
You're very good at that.
Thank you. But I think it's a huge miss in property management. So I need to do a little course on some basic marketing. I just don't think it's really been taught to us. Working with clients on the ops side of doing strategic team design, I just need to hire a marketing and salesperson. Marketing is one, sales is another, right? Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh, in the BDM role, I'm an overachiever. I like marketing more than sales, but I consider myself a salesperson at the same time. Understanding that those are two separate seats. The marketer is there to bring the business for the salesperson. It's two separate roles. And that's why a lot of BDMs get burnt out. They're juggling both of those things. They're chasing the leads, dealing with them, nurturing and doing all these things. And that's why it becomes very difficult. The first thing we ask a client when we're first meeting with them on our strategy calls is, what are your goals for your property management company? That kind of helps us plan, like, okay, if they only want to grow 5-10 doors a month, we're not putting the full throttle on this. You can level your marketing to make that happen.
Yeah, are you having a holistic conversation? Because at the end of the day, I meet with people too. I'm also teaching people to do acquisitions, like grow by 200 doors in 1 month versus 10. But then the operations is going to suffer, right? Because if you dump, even if you were adding 20, 30 doors a month, that's going to crack at some point. Do you guys at that point them into other directions? Like, hey, yes, we can turn this on for you on your website, but you're also going to need to do XYZ so you don't blow up.
We have great partners that we partner with. We say, give Stacy a call. She's going to help you there.
We have tiers.
Okay.
But that's really just a benchmark for our own internal purposes, because after we have that initial discussion with a prospective client, we take the time to look through the audit, see exactly what's going on, and provide them with a very customized plan so that we don't blow up their operations. If they're prepared for that, we'll give them the whole package. I think Alex calls it the domination.
I call it market domination, but it's the authority package.
But yeah, we don't want to crush people's businesses. We're here to help you. We're here to get you to where you want to be, and using a tool that you already have access to, and it's just not been implemented the right way.
Right.
We try to meet all of our clients where they are and get them to where they want to go. If you look at my site right now, like if I was to send a SEO expert, they'd be like, oh, Lacy, you have blah, blah, blah wrong with your website. And I'm like, oh, I know. It's intentional because we are meeting our sales goals with only our website. We have other channels of lead sources, and we want to grow, but we want to grow slowly. So I'm not running Google ads. I'm not doing all of the things that you can do to make your website perform top notch. And that is very intentional.
No, I love that. So basically what I'm hearing is you guys are very intentional with every single client. It's not like a cookie cutter, like, hey, you should do Facebook ads, you should do Google ads, turn on all these random things without them even having a process on the back end. Because if you don't have a CRM or sales process, that's cool. And then the operations piece. Yeah, cool.
Ads are never part of our initial strategy. We want to make sure we get the organic going. We want to make sure we get the health of your website first. If your website's not doing great with the content and the technical side, the Google ads, you're just spending money. Our goal is to really take property management companies organically to grow from their website, not to have to Google ads. We understand that, yes, we are going to have to, and some clients want that because they have that ingrained in their head from previous traumas of websites. We can do it, but give us a shot. We were talking to a client yesterday and he was like, I talked to the others. They wanted me to do this, this, and this. You could truly take over that market. Let's try the organic route. Why spend money on these things if you don't need them?
And if you spend money on ads and they get to your website and can't find what they're looking for, they're not going to contact you.
Yeah. Do you guys give any advice on that? I know a while back, Instagram, they all change their stuff all the time, but I think now they encourage your captions to be SEO optimized because Google actually does pick them up.
They want the text in your images.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
So Instagram is indexable now, which is new-ish.
Right.
In the speed of AI, I wouldn't really say it's new anymore, but in terms of the normal world, it came out in the last 6 months.
What you post on Instagram?
The fact that they're indexable means Google will serve your IG post as content.
which is huge. I've been trying to write my captions SEO optimized. When you're creating all your own stuff, there's a million things you have to remember. So that's cool.
At PM Systems Conference, I am working out a lead simple process. If I can get it to Alex in time, an app lead process that I'll be giving away to anybody that comes to my session at PM Systems Conference.
I will be there.
Too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give you a sneak.
Oh, you should.
So I was like 75% of the way done. Then Google did a huge core update from August to September, and it kind of flipped everything on its head. So I just stopped the development because I was like, I don't know if this is going to work anymore. Finally, things have settled down and I'm feeling pretty confident that what I had already created will work. Thank goodness. I'm really excited to give this to our friends and colleagues.
No, it sounds awesome. So how do you guys keep up with everything? I've become like the crazy lady that listens, I don't even know, like so many podcasts a week. AI is reading websites and I listen to different marketers and they have all this advice on what you should be putting everywhere or not. How do you guys keep up? Do you sleep?
You get my emails at 1 o'clock in the morning, Stacey. She's working out one night. It's when you love what you do, the passion behind this and the love that we're getting from everyone in the industry has really fueled me. The support from everyone. Me and Lacy look at ourselves, oh my gosh, we're doing this. We had such imposter syndrome in the beginning when it was like, leads are coming through our website pretty quickly. We had to hire our first subcontractor, and I don't say employee because classification matters. Yes.
He was the TA for the SEO Academy that I'm in. The Academy is winding down. And so he was looking for more work to take on. I was like, heck yeah, because I knew he knew what he was talking about. So there wouldn't have to be any training involved. He was like a plug and play. And I've known him for 2.5 years now. So we already had a relationship and it's just been a really great addition to our team.
That's awesome. Congratulations. So
it keeps us in line.
I have somebody like that too. Helps keep my crazy ideas, I'll come with a half-baked idea and then my amazing assistant will be like, okay, what about these 5 steps? I'm like, oh yeah, I guess we need that in the middle. So do you have any tips and tricks that somebody could easily do in the next week or two, besides obviously call you guys and schedule a call?
If you don't call us, call your website provider. Schedule that meeting, review your website, ask them the questions. I will have a blog up by the end of today, top 10 questions to ask your SEO marketing agency. It's something you really need to know. Are they doing the things they're supposed to be doing? Are they tracking the data? The data is important. And remember that you always get these reports monthly or quarterly. Look at them and break it down because the data is there. Impressions aren't everything.
What's your click-through rate?
Yeah, that's important. For sure. And that brings me to another question. Are blogs dead or are they still alive? Yeah.
No way. SEO is dead. Blogs are dead. What's ended up happening though is that nothing has really changed. You still have to have the foundations. You still have to have fresh content. You still need to implement all of the things for traditional SEO to be a source or a citation on an LLM. They essentially do the same thing. They function the same way. They spend money crawling your website the exact same way. Blogs help establish authority. So, Alex, what are the EEAT?
Experience. Oh my gosh. She's gonna call me. She gives me I'm like the worst at acronyms. Thank you.
Really bad at
experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So that's what they're looking for, creating that trust. It's all about the trust overall.
And your blog is where you establish, along with your Google business profile, your presence on social media channels, your citations for directory listings at your Chamber of Commerce, all of those, which is backlinking, all of those give Google a holistic picture of how knowledgeable and experienced you are in the subject that you're selling.
The one thing I can say that's going to move the needle very quickly for you is building your citations. We actually just launched a new service called Clearly Local, and we can manage your citations. The most important thing for your citations are your name, address, and phone number. You need to make sure they are identical. not a space, like a wrong space can throw it off. Make sure if it's spelled out like STREET, that it's spelled like that across every citation. So we launched a new program that we can actually do it for you and manage those. It's really neat. And that's one of the things that can really move the needle quickly, because it's tell Google that you are out there, but it's cleaning all that information up and syncing it together.
And yes, Jonathan, the content does need to be good. Don't just go into ChatGPT and give some crappy prompt and it's going to give you some crappy response. I have it's like 150 words that I've trained my ChatGPT not to use because it drives me insane. Use ChatGPT to augment your ideas, to maybe build out the original structure of the idea. LLMs go delusional all the time. And it'll provide you with citations to put into your blog, and you need to make sure those citations are relevant. You need to make sure that the information you're posting is accurate, it provides value, and is honest. There are some best practices about grade level to write at. Word length, you really have to know your competitors. If they've posted content related to yours, how many words are on their blog about the same subject? Because if they post a 1,000-word article on why tenants get locked out of their house, and you post a 300-word article, they're going to outrank you. You said, yes, I recognize this topic, but I'm really not going to give you any information about it. Whereas they took the time to go through the process of explaining the subject. Not the best subject, but it was just
right. That's interesting. I don't think I realized that. I have been told that you should write to like a 5th grade level. Is it lower?
8th to 9th. It actually depends on the area that you're in. Florida is 8th to 9th grade. I was writing when I first started writing blogs.
What your competitors are writing.
So it's a whole strategy behind it. I was writing on a very high college level when I first started blogs, and they weren't ranking. Once I started taking them back, making it very simple, shorter sentences, smaller words, it really does make a difference. More people can understand them. Unfortunately, education has not been a priority as much. So you have to take it back a little bit.
Well, I also think with social media over the last several years, we've kind of all trained our brains to skim or read quickly. I do blogs, I write, post articles on LinkedIn, repurpose them blog style on my website, but I love audio. I love video because I'm always listening.
Most recent podcast last night.
Oh, you did. Thank you. So yeah, for me, I actually prefer to write in shorter sentences now, because when I'm reading, I prefer that. It's not because I'm uneducated. It's just because my brain is trying to move at a really rapid pace.
Anomaly in that case.
That is true.
I think y'all might be on the opposite end of the extremes, because Alex could write a novel on his homepage. And actually he did once. And I was like, I think you need to fix this.
I have a lot to say. It's passion that shows through, and I want to educate people. I'm a servant educator. That's what I am, and that's why we worked well together. She reels me back in sometimes.
I love that. There's so many strategies behind all the stuff that we put out there, from marketing strategy to like SEO strategy to all the things. So it is really challenging. So as a business owner, I highly recommend you contact Lacy and Alex, because I know what it's like to run a property management company, and it is insane. 99% of the time. It's like the last thing people have time to think about, right? So they should contact you. You guys are trusted partners. You know what you're talking about.
Guys, this is our family. This is our industry. These are the people that we love to serve. Fell into this opportunity really. And we were like, we can move the needle here for a lot of people. So that really was the motivating factor. But Stacy, can I flip the script on you for a second?
Yes, please.
Don't you have a deadline today?
I do have a deadline today. My online community, which I love posting. Today, the door's closed, so it's the last time you can get in 2025. I work on helping business owners transform their business. We focus on one subject a month. I approach it with the acquisitions lens of build an asset, whether or not you ever want to sell. But if you also want to learn how to acquire, it's kind of twofold. So, yep, it's only $97 a month. Online, I do a live a month, and then I invite vendors in once a month to dive deep. I will be inviting Alex and Lacy to come in and teach something and give away some cool stuff.
I have some questions.
Yes, please.
How many people do you have in there currently?
I have 30, so 30 people. Yeah.
And it's like a workspace where people can come ask questions anytime and get responses.
Yeah, I host it on Circle. It's as interactive as people want to be. But
I love Circle. That's what I want to use if we ever launch anything like that.
Yes, I just moved it onto Circle. I was on Kajabi, but I didn't really love that platform. I love Circle, the interface of it. But instead of going to Facebook and asking a question in a random forum, and you're going to get like maybe people that, are not actually should be answering your question, you can join my community and have access to me. We have other people in there too that can give feedback.
Do they have to be a property manager?
No, it could be business owner, it could be a leader, but no, you don't have to be a property manager.
Scan the QR code right now. This new business owner thing is a ride. So you definitely need that support system.
Anybody in leadership or anybody that really wants to transform themselves as a leader or transform their business, I'm really more into that leadership development. I'm not the tactical one, right? So there's like some amazing consultants out there that dive deep and like build out your need simples. I'm more the like holistic transformation.
But you do Monday.
Yeah, we do Monday. We do Monday implementations, mostly just because we use Monday. And so we know Monday inside and out. And I do Monday.
One other question I had, and I love your branding and it reflects you. It's open to everyone, right? It's not just for females.
Oh, yeah. I serve both men and women, but I do hold a special place in my heart for my female entrepreneurs.
We have to stick together because it's a rough world out there.
I would say, especially as I move into teaching people how to acquire businesses, I would love to teach a room full of women how to buy businesses. That truly would light me up. I have awesome guy clients as well, and I have awesome client vendors, partners, but I just love being able to serve women entrepreneurs as well.
I just want to make sure because I love your branding, but it's feminine. So I wanted to confirm that it's open to everyone.
No, and that's a good question. It is feminine because for so many years I actually showed up more in my masculine because I worked with so many more guys. Probably 97% of my clients were men. Even when I did acquisitions, I was the only female on the team. And when I launched this brand, I really wanted to embrace my true self and take the mask down and show our younger women too, like, hey, you can actually show up as your true self.
You have a responsibility to take.
It shows in everything that you've done. Your light is beaming out of you now. I love watching all your content and all your things. You are living your best life. I love that.
Well, thank you. Look at that. This is probably one of my most favorite webinars. You guys are so sweet. I love it. I should probably talk to you every morning.
Me and Lacy have to do that to each other. We have to talk each other up some days.
And that's also another reason why I did create my community, because especially in property management, it can be such a negative drag. It's great to go somewhere and surround yourself with other people who truly are like-minded, and you just want to, build each other up and share your light and yourself. Sometimes you're going to have a bad moment. I never say a bad day. You can have a challenging moment. Jump in the community and just, feel better about yourselves. But here's your contact information. I highly recommend people contact you. I know you guys ran, what do you call it? Your free thing.
Free website analysis. Yes.
Thank you.
I was like, what did we run on? What did we run on your website? I don't remember that.
I am hosting a webinar, and you guys are still offering that, right? Free website.
Everyone can do it. We've probably already done it and they just don't know it. We're looking at everyone in the industry and we know your website. We know who needs to call us. So if you'd like us to post that list, let us know.
So maybe we should do that as a follow-up webinar. It actually wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to do a follow-up one and maybe use some websites. Jonathan says, post the list.
Newbig wants us to do a live review of VPM solutions. I think that'd be something that would be fun.
I think that would be really fun.
Your website is awesome.
Yeah.
Your designer has done a really good job.
Thank you. Yes, you got to hire people to do the things for you that you're not the best at. As a business owner, you should contact Alex and Lacy because you have enough on your plate.
Can I drop one more secret?
Yes, let's do it.
So in the past week, we've brought on website designers. We're going to be adding a third and possibly a fourth. They're going to be serving our clients if they need a new website. They have different price points. They have different aesthetics. So you'll be able to review their portfolios and see which style you like best, which fits your budget, and which platform you want, whether it's WordPress, Squarespace, or whatever you're most comfortable with. We have had some people come to us and be like, I'm done. I want a new one. And while Alex and I can build websites, We also have a property management company, an SEO company with several clients. That is one of the parts that will provide you with a list of trusted designers to refer you to that you can work directly with. We set the expectations with them that we'll provide the site structure to them. They're just going to create the bones, and then they'll send it back to us, and then we'll build out the content past the immediate structure. We haven't really announced that anywhere yet. I think I want to get those other two locked in before we do.
Before we do,
It's not.
Jonathan's releasing the press release.
It's already posted on all the socials. I mean,
Property management's got to get prettier. Let's just say that.
The designers we brought on are people that I know through the SEO Academy I took. One in the UK, the other one's in Wyoming. And so we know that they know SEO best practice, and we know that they're good designers and they're not going to give you garbage and ghost you. I was really excited when we were able to create those partnerships.
That's amazing. I love that. That's a very cool note to end on for sure. You should hire people to do the things that you're not great at, right?
Yeah.
As a business owner, you should be using your zone of genius to go out, do the fun things that light you up and make you the money. Surround yourself with people that know the things better. Love it. That's cool. And thanks for announcing it on my show. I love that.
Sorry, Alex. I sprung that on you.
Kidding. We have a therapy session every day.
I love it. We'll definitely have to do another session, and I will definitely have you guys come inside my community. I'm working out the schedules for the next year soon. Thank you so much for coming. This was super fun. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Well, it's always a pleasure to talk with both of you. You guys are awesome. Keep on being awesome.
Thank you.
We're going to try.
And have a great day. See y'all later. Thanks for coming, everybody.